Call this meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Get the changes for any changes?
Yes, so we have two additions, 4-3 for D3, which was a donation from the American Legion Post 101 for Riverfest, and 4H for an EMT appointment.
Okay. And also there was resolution number 2019-23, $500 from the Roving Hillbillies Snowmobile Club, St. Rosa and Freeport to the Melrose Fire Department. And there was also resolution number 2019-24, donation of an amount of $800 from Stearns Electric Association Trust to the Melrose Fire Department for equipment purchases. And also the resolution number 2019-25, $1,000 from the American Legion Post 101 towards the Riverfest celebration. Thank you to everybody for your donations. If there's any other, let's get a motion to approve the agenda first.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Open forum, just quick checking if anybody would like to speak. Okay, then a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Then, let's see here, 5A, Police Department, monthly reports, Chief Mouse. Happy late birthday.
For March 2019, in our traffic area, we had 60 citations, 112 verbal warnings, and 20 written warnings. We ended the call volume with 426 calls of requests for service, and last year we were at 406. So our quiet February got picked up a little bit in March. And then this year we ended on ICR 1151, and last year was 1086, so we're about 65 calls ahead of where we were last year. Maybe an area of note, this would have been officially a year or so since we've been back to full-time 5 officers consistently, so from here on out the numbers should be reflective of that a little bit more consistently, so it'd be interesting to see how things pan out. Update on the 3-hour parking, things have been going well with that since the letters went out and the conversations we've had. I think 1 written warning was issued and then 1 citation since the last meeting, so otherwise people have been working well with that and, as far as in the areas that we focus on as of now.
Okay. Is there any questions?
Sounds good.
All right. Just a quick question, was there anything special that the Janelle Kendall had to say to us that the public would know, or?
No, I think as far as 2018 looked like, our case numbers that we sent to them for prosecution overall were down just a bit. Pretty consistent with our average, but nothing overly exciting or of concern, so.
All right. Thanks, Chief. City Attorney report?
Yeah, good evening. Just a handful of things. As you can see in the report, Ron Properties has got a proposed some development on their property and was working with city staff on getting a letter of agreement as part of that process. You received the audit through the end of last year. As part of that process, I always get asked to provide an opinion letter, and what the auditor is concerned about is if I would know of some pending looming litigation that would bankrupt the city but doesn't show up on the books yet. The answer is no, and so I write a letter telling them that there's nothing out there that needs to be reflected in their audit to the city. Charter franchise agreement, this is just more of a heads up. Gosh, you know, it's at least a year since we started talking and working with charter representatives about renewing their franchise agreement. And last fall, we actually had an agreement that we had gotten a verbal, yeah, this is good from charter, and presented that to the council, and you guys approved it and signed it, and we submitted it to charter for signature, and thought it was unusual that we hadn't heard anything back. And so Mike Brethorst, before he left, contacted them saying, where is this? Well, then they came back, well, no, they didn't, there was language in there that they didn't like after all. So that's why they hadn't signed it, and they wanted to make further changes. Now, the big change, and this is something that we've been going back and forth with on charter from day one, is because we have two franchisees, both Arvig and Charter, providing cable services. The way we've structured it is we've actually got a cable franchise ordinance, and that's really where the bulk of our regulations and requirements are in the ordinance. And the reason we do that is because, you know, we're obligated under federal law to make sure that we provide these competitors with an even playing field, that we're not entering into a franchise agreement with one company and then 2 years from now Arvig comes in and we make a franchise agreement with them on much better terms. So by having the ordinance, and it makes the franchise agreement itself fairly short, because basically it's, we want our franchise fees and comply with our ordinance. And that way they can't complain that we're treating one better than the other. What we've been arguing about is, and because of that, we've been kind of sticking on the notion that, you know, language in both the ordinance and in the franchise agreement that says, you know, if there's a conflict between the terms of the ordinance and a term in the franchise agreement, the ordinance prevails. Charter doesn't like that. They want it just the other way around. If there's a problem in the franchise, you know, a conflict between the franchise agreement and the ordinance, you know, the agreement prevails. And I understand their concern. Their concern is that the way we've got it is that it leaves the door open. Sometime down the road, the city could change the ordinance and really essentially rewrite the franchise agreement by changing the terms of the ordinance. Their concern is, they claim they had run into this once before, where the city increased the standards. You know, they decided they wanted, you know, top of the line kind of infrastructure installed in their city, and which is of course expensive, and so they don't want to, you know, so they're afraid of that happening. You know, I pointed out to them that it works the other way too. I mean, we're as likely to drop the standards as we are to make them more strict. So we've been going back and forth. I did have a conversation with some of Charter's representatives and one of Charter's attorneys, and talked about this. We didn't come to any kind of resolution. Charter's attorney said that he could provide me with court cases citing that, you know, the way they are wanting to do it is the way it needs to be done. I asked him to send me those. I'd be happy to look at them. Haven't seen anything yet. So I'm still watching my email, see if something comes through. But so that's still out there. Nothing that needs to be done yet, but I don't want you to be surprised if a couple of months we got some tweaks. I mean, One of the things that we'll want to change for sure is the numbering inside the agreement is inconsistent. So we got several paragraphs with the same number, and that's just bad proofing. Missed that when we made modifications to the ordinance that we didn't get our numbers quite right. What else will be in there, we'll find out as time goes on. So those were the three main things. The other item, I just didn't get this in my report, but I thought I'd let you know is, last meeting, we asked the council to issue 2 orders to abate nuisances on properties here in the city. The good news is that within a couple days of you issuing those orders, the nuisances were abated. So that's taken care of. Nobody had to go to court. So the citizens are listening to you when you speak, at least 2 of them. So. That's all I've got tonight, unless you got something else for me.
Nope.
Good.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Scott. All right, Lisa?
Good evening. By way of updates, I have the potential agenda for the April 29th Planning Commission meeting. We anticipate 4 rezonings and some associated comp plan amendments. St. Mary's and St. Paul's Church both operate preschool programs. St. Mary's is adding a more daycare-oriented preschool program, which forces us to take a look at how that works within the constraints of our zoning ordinance. It's zoned R1 single-family residential, and so it's recommended by the city attorney that we rezone the properties to P, which is public. Also, Mayor's owns a lot just west of Melrose Truck Repair that Melrose Truck Repair is looking at acquiring, and so that would be part of rezoning, probably to C2, but they've left it kind of vague, either C2 or industrial, for both their lot as well as the mayor's lot. And then the mini storage that's north of the Duffner's Park, the Duffner's mini storage up on the north end was zoned mobile home, residential mobile home. Not sure exactly why that was, but we don't have that zoning district anymore. They're now, manufactured homes are allowed in the R1 zoning district, and there's some criteria within that district to handle that. So it's not really appropriate to have the mini storage still zone that, so we need to just clean that up. So those are going to be on the April 29th Planning Commission agenda. On the May council agenda, we'll have those items, as well as a vacation of 4th Avenue Southwest request that goes between the mayor's lot and the Melrose Truck Repair over kind of by Rose Park. It's a north-south road right away. It's not anticipated to be needed, and the parcel would be separated by that road right away, so they're requesting that that be vacated. Also, we'll have the outdoor seating draft ordinance on that agenda. Other updates, building permits are starting to increase now that it's sort of getting warmer out. They're slightly down from last year in the numbers that you've been provided in your packet, but Melrose One Stop and St. Mary's Church have just provided their building permit applications, so those are not included yet in these numbers. So we'll definitely see a bump up by next month. Any questions?
No. Thank you, Lisa. All right, we're down to 7 because there's no action items. We're on old business. Craft lot development. On Tuesday, April 9th, the council held a special meeting with MATA to review the development proposal for the craft lot. Staff will provide update regarding the discussion.
Included in your packet is a letter addressed to Mike Schoenecker regarding the proposal that was submitted. It basically says that this letter of intent sort of binds the city and the developer to work together moving forward on this project under the terms that were provided in the documents provided by the applicant. And As such, there's a couple of caveats. A letter of intent can be withdrawn from under a couple of conditions for the developer if there's not financial assistance from the state legislative funds or on the part of the city, if we're not able to come up with an acceptable site plan and building design working with them. Those would both be terms for voiding the agreement. And then additionally, there's some hold harmless language. So it's, I think, a fairly reasonable letter of intent, and staff recommends that if you're happy with the project moving forward, that you recommend that the mayor enter into that agreement.
Yep, so the council to give consideration approving the letter of intent. Any questions or concerns? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. The council to discuss the HVAC system and potential change order to the project. Does anybody have any questions on that at all?
Basically, it is to add humidification back to it. I know there looks like there's two options. One to go with, was it Nortec, or the other one was another option?
Yes, we've,
Different brand, or,
in discussions with both SEH and Mission Mechanical, they felt comfortable with taking that deduction. The Public Utilities Commission met on Monday and approved this change order, and they decided, or they voted to take that deduct, to go
deduct
with the
it
lower
lower, okay.
option.
Yep.
I would concur with that, so.
Okay. Can I get a motion then?
I will make the motion to add the change order with the lower
With the duct,
value.
okay. All right, there's first, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 7C, that is with a potential purchase of the forfeited property. We don't have enough information on it. Would it just be better to table it now and then,
Maybe we can take it up on the 23rd when there's another meeting.
yeah, would that be all right? Then we have all the information instead of talking a half hour on it, we still don't know what's going on.
That sounds fine to me.
So, okay? All right, so we'll
Do we have to-
table
do we have
that.
to make a motion to table that?
I'd like that, and are you gonna for sure, because it's on the 20th, I have to post it, so if you're gonna for sure, because it's a special meeting, so I'd
Yep.
have to post it, so.
This property goes to auction on May
May.
29th, so we also have the option of doing it at our May council meeting.
Is
before.
that up there, just so I know?
Would it be better just to do it at our May meeting, because then we got everything taken care of, or?
The issue with waiting till May is that if you're requesting a reduction in the price, the county wouldn't be able to have a meeting, and then you wouldn't be able to act on the county if they change it. It'd be better if you can do a sooner meeting. I would suggest your meeting on the 23rd, but that would make sense.
So it's just a matter of posting it for the
Yeah.
23rd?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
I think we can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Okay,
April 23rd it is.
Yeah, as long as we make a final decision on at an open council meeting, or not open.
I agree.
Yeah. Televised council meeting, how's that sound?
Yep.
Okay.
Good. All good? All right. So you want a motion on that then?
If I could.
Okay, can I get a first and second?
Make a motion to table till the
Okay,
23rd.
can I get a second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. No new business, informational items, utilities commission meeting minutes, and then Stearns County Attorney's Office report. Nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried.